bundle of joy. Bringing them up to be future leaders could be the hardest part of parenting. We'll be discussing the do's and don'ts of child upbringing on the R&L Show today. My name is Rachel Engmann. We'll be right back after this break. Stick and stay. Welcome back. This is the R&L Show. My name is Rachel Engmann. Like I was saying before we went on break, we'll be discussing the do's and don'ts of child upbringing. And I'll introduce my distinguished guests to you now. I have with me the controversial celebrity counselor, Councillor Lutterodt. Welcome to the R&L Show.
I told you I am the change agent counselor. But yes, back again to my Christmas carol competition. Well, if you're going to be part of this year's or last year, all the winners were pregnant. And by the grace of God, they've delivered because I lay hands on them. They are safe delivery and they are bringing their children around to come and join us. Yes, I mean, you cannot get pregnant because you don't have legal sexual intercourse. But they had, and right last year, our orgasm conference, the Christmas carol competition took place 26 December. This year again, by the grace of God, audition is starting right after the elections. If you want to be part of it, keep watching us because I'll drop the number that you're supposed to just send a WhatsApp of your name, your spouse's name. If you are single, you also join with a friend because there's a charade that we need to be part of it.
Is it free?
Remember, it's free for now. And also get ready for the orgasm conference, the second together on 26th December.
Orgasm conference?
Yes, I mean, it's the only orgasm conference in the whole wide world for now. And it's happening in Ghana. It's going to be 26th December.
Wow. And I have with me here the loving, sweet CEO of Kids Place Playground at Dansoman. I have with me here Mrs. Smart Koinu. Okay, she's very smart as well. Mrs. Eunice Smart Koinu, welcome to the R&L Show.
Thank you very much. Greetings from Kids Place Playground.
We are shooting at the Kids Place Playground at Dansoman today. Welcome to the R&L Show. I'll delve right into the topic, or we will delve right into the topic, and I'll start with you, Councillor. We all know bringing up a child, well, we have a fair idea of it. Most people think bringing up a child is just about maybe feeding the child, maybe disciplining the child and all. But then technically, what is child upbringing?
When we come to child upbringing, if you get the definition of upbringing, it means that it is an unending process. When it say upbringing, which means there is a stage that one is looking at that you have to get there. So upbringing, if you are asked to bring anything up, it means the thing is down. So children are things that are down, that must grow. They are living things, and their growth are very essential unto us. So when we say child upbringing is difficult, it will be difficult because it is a skill that is developed in process, not before the process. So when you hear people saying bringing out a child is so difficult and I've given birth to 13 children but still I've not learned the skills of belief, I mean, it's true because each child comes with different temperamental areas, comes up with different mood swings, comes out with different mentality. God brings them with different gifts and talents. But remember, no child has a right.
Really?
No child has a right.
We even have a child's rights
Your
association.
child's rights,
Fighting for the rights of children.
your child's rights, your child's policies, whatever, is something that the government must do. But none of the government policies has impregnated anybody. Because bringing forth the child, the well-being of the child, first comes from the type of penis or male organ that impregnated you. So a child will become better based on where the mother took the pregnancy from. Because if you learn what childhood is, anytime a woman is pregnant, based on the gender, there's a name waiting for you. Our excitement to receive you is there. So child upbringing starts from naming. That is where it starts from. So once we name you as Rahel, Rachel, whatever your name is, we know you are a woman. And the blessings you are pronouncing is that you are going to grow. You become a mother. You become a wife. You are going to become this. These things are pronounced. Then you grow. Whilst you didn't give birth to yourself, you come and open your own mouth and tell us that because I face a lot of challenges, a lot of men have disappointed me. I take my disappointment to become celibacy now, and for that matter, right now, I don't want to marry because all men are bad. You're not serious. Our desire for you is to bring you up to come and represent us. So as you're sitting, whoever attended your adoring, whoever gave you the name has an expectation for you.
Sure.
So in upbringing, we are living with an expectation for our children. And because you have no right, if you grow and refuse to marry, we will call your parents witches and wizards. Because the Bible says that train the child the way he should go. That's one. When he grows. So there are two things. Train the child the way he should go. When he grows. So we are teaching you that in your growth, there is a path you need to take. And that is the thing. But if a woman starts to have children without a husband, and they just drop sperm anywhere and they catch it by whirlwind, and they are living alone without husbands, they put their troubles on the children. So if you don't get a man, you have to cry. Buy a mirror. Sufra wunyami se wow. Because it is
Auntie Eunice,
very, very bad to live without it.
you're a parent.
Yes.
Yes. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
How has bringing them up been like?
Well, I believe child upbringing is a process. And as a parent needs to support his or her child emotionally, physically, mentally, socially, from infancy up until adulthood. It hasn't been easy. I wouldn't say parenting is easy. You'd have to go through all these processes before you would get them into adulthood. And with prayers, I believe God will help you through. Because I don't think a parent will just say parenting is easy. You would have to go through processes. And going through the processes is not an easy task. More especially if you're a career woman, if you're a business woman, if you're a husband, a wife, and a parent, it's not easy. But I know with determination, hard work, perseverance, you sail through.
Counselor, when it comes to, you said children don't have rights.
Yes.
But they have privileges.
I told you
Okay,
some
so
time
what
ago.
are some of the privileges, and then where do they end?
Thank you. Children have responsibility and privileges. The right of a child is enshrined in the parents. So I tell you what to do. You don't decide what to do. You have no decision. Your decision is invalid.
Well,
Tell me something. You have a child, or you have
I
children?
have children.
You have children. How has bringing them up been like?
Solid.
Strict.
Do you find strict? It's
There
not
should be some
regimental.
kind of, I don't know.
It's not regimental. You see, in this
Child-parent
world,
relationship. It
people
should be
will never enjoy freedom.
flexible.
You see, you don't know what
Should be
freedom is.
flexible.
Freedom has always been flexible, except you make it regimental. And when you find it regiment to become a regimental disorder, that is why you say it is no freedom. But there is freedom. It is left with you to obey the
But
freedom
in your
within
case,
the
you
laws.
say what the child thinks does not really matter.
You don't have a thinking ability over me who gave birth to you.
Wow.
Because the food is hot. You are hungry. You are crying you want to eat. I know this is hot, so I won't give you to eat. You wait until it's cold.
Wow.
And in your waiting, that is where parenting is. I don't give you bread to wait for the porridge. I don't give you any other thing to wait for the porridge. I let it get cool and you eat because I'm teaching you how to delay gratification, which is gone. It's no more. Now there's no parenting, ladies and gentlemen. It's now zookeeping and poultry farming. First, to know that children don't have rights. One, I said they have privileges and responsibilities. So when a child is sleeping, you don't wake him up or wake her up. He will not wake up to go to school. I want you to learn that there are rules raising up children. And the first thing I said earlier was that you need to have the right person to impregnate you, get a child in the right environment as a mother, then the rules start. You have what we call the stages as the children grow. Every child, the taste will start from the mouth, continue in the anus, then end in the reproductive system. So potty training is essential. When we say potty training, you don't have a child. And for the viewers who have not learned what potty training is, it is getting up in the morning and providing a chamber pot, kuraba shamono, for the child to sit on it. That is whether the child likes to poo-poo or not.
You force the child to do it.
You can use the word force. Whether you like to poo-poo or not, you are supposed to know that it is poo-pooing time and chamber pot must come. And this should happen within 1 year, 3 months.
Do you practice
down.
all this?
Well, if you think I don't practice, let me impregnate you with it.
Oh, Lord.
And you will know what it means to practice. But I'm saying that potty training is very, very essential. Unfortunately for us now, because of the diaper, we are refused to assist children in growing. And when children don't know what is potty training, they grow and become liabilities to society. I am not against diapers, but I want to see a responsible woman who know how to use a diaper. Napkins are gone because the current girls of your nature in the 21st century don't even know how to use a safety pin to do safety away from the reproductive,
because it's stressful.
It's not stressful.
Washing every time and then
look at you. It's laziness that tells you that washing a napkin is stressful. You are saying it is stressful to wash a baby's napkin. It is a sign of victory, telling everybody in the environment. It is a sign showing that there's a delivery in this house and we want to go and celebrate the child. But now when you deliver, nobody even see because I fall diaper. So raising a child is not getting a house help. It's not. But now
when you're a career woman,
it's an excuse. It's a flimsy excuse.
Coming to Auntie Eunice, you're a career woman.
Yes, I am.
How do you manage?
Okay, well, I believe upbringing and parenting is different in different homes. When you go to Mr. Lutterodt or Councillor Lutterodt's home, the way he brings up his children may be different from the way I bring up my children.
Sure.
I believe in respecting your children, and then they will in turn respect you back. You don't impose on them, rather you inspire your children. And when the father and the mother is living in the house, whatever they do, the kids look at it. Don't think that they are children. They are not children. And I told you from the beginning, combining parenting, career woman, a business woman, it's not easy. It's a bit difficult, but with determination and perseverance.
How do you do yours? How do you manage?
Like I said, my children, I have 3 kids, and they are all different. Kids are very unique in their own ways. My first child is very different from the second one. The second one is very different from the third one. So what happens is when you tell them, go and have your bath, you would see the first one moving into the bathroom immediately. The second one will be running around, and you have to have patience for him. They all speak different languages. What I mean is they are all unique in their own ways. So you shouldn't treat the first one the same as the second one. You have to examine them. You have to monitor their trends. Okay? So like I was following him a bit. Like he was saying, you need to potty train them. Yes, it's all part of upbringing. But I would say that if you have to show gratitude, for instance, they passed their exam, you have to show that gratitude for the child to know that yes, mommy is happy about my results. And kids are they pick up easily. What I tell the first one, maybe the strategy I use for the first one will not be on the second one. The second one is very, very wholesome, but he's very nice. So the strategy you use on the first one will not be the same as the strategy for the second one. So I believe in inspiring them rather than imposing on them.
You are taking privacy to the extreme when it comes to a child.
Your child may be a teenager.
What you don't know is that, as she was saying, we have different ways of raising the children, but the basic rules must be followed.
Sure, you need to follow
so
them.
You can talk about.
You need to be consistent.
So I'm talking about the basics are for all of them. Unique, celebrating people, rewarding them, whatever. Okay, that's okay.
It helps them grow.
But sure,
I mean, it encourages them. Yes.
Please.
If I do well, if I learn harder, mommy will buy me this, mommy will be
happy.
My sister, showing gratitude to your child is not a must.
Your child comes first in class.
The question
Daddy,
is
I passed.
I mean, your child becomes first in class. Doesn't mean he's the first in the house. But train the child the way he should go. When he grows. So when you're training a child, it's not the way the child behaves in the house. But when my child comes to the playground, how is he going to behave is what I'm doing. And that is where we have lost it. So our children come out, and when they are growing, when they go and they grow, they depart from what we have done.
That is when peer pressure and other things come in.
You see, peer pressure is not for children. Don't you have peers? Are they not pressurizing you? No. If your peers are not reminding you to marry, they are afraid of you, and they are part of the witches and wizards in your family. I have peers. You have peers. Even at your age, at my age, we have peers. A 53-year-old man has a peer. So they tell me things I should do. I have people who put, so peer pressure is not a youth mentality. It's your peers who pressurize you. So that one should not be a headache for all of us. And we have to learn. The third thing I was going to talk about was communicating with the children non-verbally. How do we train them to see that as he's getting close to the bottle, the eye I am giving him or her shows that don't touch. But the current children in your generation knows one important thing, madam. You tell them by the eye, don't touch. Mommy, you eyeing me. You eyeing me, oh, mommy.
Depends on the way you do
Mommy,
it.
you eyeing me. And it's true you are eyeing the child because chocolate, but not what I'm saying, even the time is not there to have the communication. But learn that.
So then, this is where my question comes in. Yes. Do you think it's appropriate for parents to take their young children to boarding houses or maybe daycare centers just because of their busy schedule?
Well, daycare centers, yeah, we have ages at which you should take your babies. Yes. I think they have time off work when you deliver up to a point. You don't need to take babies at what age? Fresh babies?
6 months.
You need to have time for them.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Well, 6 months. I wouldn't take my baby like 6 months here, like 6 months old to a daycare. You can either have your mom take care of the child.
Do you have people bringing babies like that here?
No, it starts from 1 year.
Okay.
Not babies. You know, babies, it will be a bit difficult because they would have to take breast milk and all those things. But we start from 1 year. 6 months is a bit too early to take your child to a daycare. Maybe you can have your mom or a nanny to do that, to take care of the child. Because in every institution, I know that when you give birth fresh, you have at least 3 months off. And after the 3 months, you might close early to come and take care of the child. So 6 months is a bit early. At least a year or a year and a half is more appropriate to me. I wouldn't take my 6 months old to a daycare.
Counsel, is it advisable?
When you have a child, it's called B. B in Ghana means axe. So I am my mother's B, a B. But now that I have a child, it's called Enna B. Enna B. So my mother never had a child until I gave birth to a child. It was Enna B. Baku B no na. It was nye ke ofo obi. Oba bomodia ke bile no bie e wo hwe kono nabi. This is the process which biblically is so, it's not explicit in the Bible. So when a woman is going to give birth, you plan. So you get married and now you plan how to raise children. That is why in marital communication, your communication changes as you move ahead. When you are a single person and you are dating, your communication is different. When you become wife and husband, your communication is different. When children come in, communication is different. The same way like budget and planning. So for you to just take your 1-year-old straight to a place for them to keep the child for you, like she said, so that when you close from work, you come. Well, for me, where I sit, it will be prudent, sensible, and qualified if in the family you belong to, there is no available human being sensible enough to manage that child for you. Because no matter what you do, I am not against the place for the child, but I think that it is more ideal in all contexts to be more direct on the child than bringing them on her, because what she will do is keeping them, not raising them. She doesn't have that right.
My hair and makeup by Mawena Makeovers and Beauty Academy, a reputable company in Accra, is in search of or is looking for hairdressers and beauticians. If you are interested for immediate employment, if you are interested, call them on 0244 281 896. 0244 281 896. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. If you just joined us, we are discussing the do's and don'ts in child upbringing, and I have here Councillor Lutterodt and then Mrs. Eunice Kwenu. Councillor, how do you tame a stubborn child?
Well, thank you very much. Any stubborn child is made by stubborn parents. So the stubbornness of your child is designed by the stubbornness of you, the parents. People have ignored parenting and left it for zookeeping and poultry farming. Now that they've become parents, they want to now set up, and what they left is eating them up. So I believe that it's an individual thing depending on how stubborn the child has become. Because some of us were raised by parents who, when they say sit, you will sit. I say that anytime you're home and you have a son, as a husband, observe the way your son speaks to your wife. Remember, that child is not me. So if I say, hey Esther, Bami Numanu, and then I hear my son say, hey Esther, Bami Numanu.
Sure, that's disrespectful.
This is because I'm talking to a wife.
But is it
and
appropriate for a child to call the parents by their name?
You are talking to a mother. This is my wife, and she is your mother. So you can't tell me that the way you behave and what the children will learn. Once I see this sign, at once, immediate by force, if there's a word like that, so I'm saying that there are a lot of things that if you want to tame down a stubborn child, you first have to diagnose what is causing the stubbornness. Which form of stubbornness is in that child? Is it because of neglect? Currently, pressure, negativity, acquire of wealth and riches has made children become something else. Parents are running for money. Some are not even in Ghana. They are running RDs, distance relationship. There are so many DRs in our system now. Daddy is not in Ghana. Only mommy is in Ghana. And at 7 o'clock in the evening, depending on the time of where the husband is, they buy a modem, put in a laptop, they gather the children on Skype. Hello, Daddy loves you. You will be careful in Ghana. Mommy says you are being a bad boy. Daddy will beat you. Daddy will beat you. Or beat the internet. And you have irresponsible mothers standing beside. Yeah, talk to him. When he wakes up now in the morning, he doesn't want to bath. Oh, be serious. So children are growing to believe that to live in the best place is always to rather have your husband away from you. I, as a counselor, have so many wives today who are dying in the marriage because their husbands are always around them. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Their husbands are too present.
Rather.
Oh, really?
Because the home they are coming from, there was no father.
Interesting. Sure. I think we need to delve deeper into this topic. Very interesting topic. Quickly, before we wrap up, Auntie Eunice, tell us what Kids Place does.
Kids Place is a recreational center where kids come into play, have fun and parties. We are also into rentals, nanny care service, and after-school service. You can locate us in Dansman Estates, behind Datos Complex School, and close to Good Night Hotel. You can contact us on 0204 360 651 or 026 737 5152. Kids are our utmost priority. we don't play with kids at all.
Sure, Councillor, final word.
Don't forget, 26th December is the Segia Together Orgasm Conference. This year we are treating what we call beautiful, pleasurable, and exciting sexual intercourse for genuine orgasm and a mode
genuine orgasm.
Yes, and a mode of
reducing
stress. Stress is killing us,
sure,
and people are dying out of stress, sure, in their marriages. Based on that reason, we believe that let's come and learn all together. I told you from the beginning of the show that the Christmas Carol competition is going on, and if you want to join, all you need to do is to text your name, your partner's name. It's for the singles and the married. So you can have a friend as a single or be married like Mr. and Mrs. They are good voice. One can sing, one cannot sing. Join us. The audition starts now. It's even ongoing. The audition is running, so just send your name to 0277 60 9644. I repeat, 0277 60 96 44. Send us your name through WhatsApp and we'll respond to you and join this particular one. Remember, Orgasm Conference is 26 December.
Thanks for being on the R&L Show. Spread the rod and spoil the child. Thanks for watching the R&L Show. It's been a very interesting discussion here with my distinguished guests. My name is still Rachel Engmann. Thanks to Marina Makeovers and Beauty Academy for my hair and makeup. Like I said, a reputable company in Accra urgently needs the services of hairdressers and beauticians for immediate employment. If you are interested, call 0244 281 896. 0244-281-896. Thank you very much, Auntie Eunice, for giving us the opportunity to use your premises for today's episode of R&L. So you know Kids Place Playground is located at Dansoman behind Datu School Complex. She gave her numbers, and then you can check the numbers on the crawler as well. And then thanks to Center of Awareness T Healthcare Center, Dr. Duncan, for sponsoring the R&L Show. Next is the emergency room segment. We'll be back next week.
Now, this is in vivo mechanism of COA on HIV activation in latently infected cells and cells in circulating blood. You see, now we are targeting them from their hideouts, bring them to the circulating blood so that we can easily get them there. So, but the background to this, despite remarkable advances in combination antiviral therapy, human immunodeficiency virus type 1 remains incurable due to the incomplete elimination of the replication-competent viruses which persist in latent reservoirs. Strategies for targeting HIV reservoirs for eradication, and that involves reactivation of latent proviruses while protecting uninfected cells by CART, can now be found in COA as a natural ARV.